Murder Drones, one of the top and cutting-edge web series currently airing, continues to delight us. And how many months has it been since the last episode? Well, never mind. But now I have in my hands the freshly released episode. So, what could the Glitch Studio have hidden in there? Ah, yes, a hellishly bloody techno-organic abyss. And are they now FNAF or something? Oh my god, the remnants! Now everything falls into one place with the presence of remnants, of course. Oh, the Satan drone! And the cyber church on another planet underground, and the hole to hell like from Doom. Yeah, in general, it leaves a lot of questions. Oh, I love this never-ending stream of surprises from the Glitch Studio and Liam Wickers. It's not all the level of FNAF theories and lore, which you still have to try to figure out on your own without internet videos. Drones haven't reached that level yet. But drones do love to throw endless puzzles, unfinished storylines, and just things that are just not clear, just to give me a headache while I try to understand if anything in the plot makes sense here. How does this damn supercomputer Absolute Solver work? Or maybe it's also confusing because the creators write the show on the go, which makes the plot so convoluted. To be fair, previous episodes were easier to understand. After all, there was an exposition at the end. Regarding this so-called supercomputer, nothing is clear anymore. Is it technology? Is it magic now? I don't know. It has a hive mind where everyone who goes insane turns into a robot Siri and wants to destroy the universe and so on. Or did I get something wrong? Well, never mind. I think we'll figure it out. But for now, hello everybody! Hello to everyone who loves murder drones and animation. It's me, Dee, and you're watching DeeAnimations channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. It really helps me. And today on our table, we have the hotly anticipated 7th episode of Murder Drones, which we have been waiting for quite a while, but I don't think we should talk about the theoretical reasons for the wait just yet. Well, just a little later. And before that, I would like to congratulate the entire drone fandom because some people started seriously thinking that the series was cancelled just because there were no episodes for a long time. Guys, cartoons, especially web cartoons, are not an easy task. The fact that the drones, being in 3D, came out relatively frequently doesn't mean it would always be like that. But it has yielded results. The fandom is resilient enough and faithfully awaits new episodes of their mind-blowing series, which left us on a terrifying cliffhanger in the 6th episode that aired 7 months ago. 7! Well, after such a long wait, we definitely deserve something incredible, and most likely the 8th episode will be released much earlier than the 7th month as we expected for the 7th. Oh god, holy moly, 7 months, can you believe it? But what about the episode, to put it briefly? In the same well-crafted episode of Murder Drones that we have become accustomed to in the past few episodes, of course, sometimes it's not entirely clear what is happening in the series, but let's say it's just the author's style. The drones have long established their narrative style, which has become clear and refined by the latest episodes. With a constant good mix of horror elements, it's not surprising that there are so many references to the famous FNAF in this episode. Both have moving metal statues. In Murder Drones, the drones, well, their thighs are 3 times more magnificent, but I digressed, sorry. And here in the 7th episode, we have some kind of a religious underworld with a flash drive in a cross that is supposed to exorcise the demonic AI that possesses the drones. It's like some kind of a warhammer that has already begun with this techno-heresy, to be honest. And that's not the end. Posters with Remnant are lying around here and there, and there was a homage to cameras in the previous episode, and that jump of the crazy drone, just like in FNAF, is just confirming the homage that the 7th episode represents. However, it would be foolish to say that the episode is just one reference, because enduring the suspenseful and horrifying tone of the series for the sake of a reference would be difficult. The limbs of this great supercomputer are reaching into something incomprehensible to me. What is flashing into some ghost limbs from the anime Elfen Light? The drones didn't prepare me for this. In short, there are many mixed concepts here. There are both action and, unexpectedly, the characters we've been waiting for. Finally, a brief excursion into the backstory of what happened on this planet. Sudden death of the characters that have been bothering us for a long time, and then these same characters cosplaying Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with their obvious unwillingness to accept the fact that their heads were chopped off. And after the emotional moments of Uzi and Anne, which are obvious probably to everyone, although I will still ship Anne and V. Yes, that's me, sorry. And once again, we're left on a harsh cliffhanger, and the question of how to resolve this complex situation and how the series will end, considering that the 8th episode will be the finale. So, in short, that's how the 7th episode of the drones look like. Ambiguous, but definitely interesting from my perspective. I'm still amazed at how indie animation has grown in the past couple of years at such a scale, and the drones are at the forefront. Think about it, this is one of the few contemporary web shows that have started and are about to end. It has drama, creepiness, and sometimes solid action with the stakes raised to the planetary levels. An artificial god, or in this case, some kind of an artificial devil in the form of an absolute solver. And all of this in a techno-organic setting, organic due to the constant bloody havoc caused by infected drones controlled by a computer. I can understand that 2 cliffhangers in a row may seem overly tantalizing for our shared interest in the show. However, it's important to remember that this is a web project, albeit a high-quality one. The murder drones need to keep our interest, which would be impossible without these emotional hooks. The previous episode is proof of that. Personally, I still refuse to believe that we won't see V again, especially since her death was not shown and she could be brought back to life just like Jay in the 6th episode. Although it's evident that by the end of the series there are more light-hearted characters moments, with people and drones being killed and even Tessa being cut, but to be honest, who really died in this series except for Doll? And did she have ribs? Weird. However, we didn't really have time to get attached to our Russian drone, even though she speaks in different versions and in a different language. Her rather disfigured corpse didn't evoke any emotions in me whatsoever. What really bothered me was the long wait for the release of the 7th episode, but I will remind myself and you that this is an indie animation with many pitfalls, not just a matter of money to make the cartoon, but also hiring employees, as is usually the case with big studios where work is put on a conveyor belt. Besides the drones, Glitch Studio has shown other ideas and projects recently. Their new show announcement was truly mind-blowing, an amazing digital circus to say at least. And do they really do everything at once? No, of course not. They are a studio and organization, and their work is complex. And since neither you nor I work directly on the drawings and animation of the series, we cannot say for sure how their process is organized. Perhaps the same people work on all the projects at the same time, as evident from the credits. Thanks to this, each new series or episode does not fall short in terms of animation quality compared to the previous ones. And all of this needs to be regulated, so it's not surprising that the release of the drones was slightly delayed. However, to be fair, even though we waited for 7 months, we have known for a while that the 7th and 8th episodes will be released close to each other. It's like a grand finale in 2 episodes. Which is why the 7th episode didn't come out earlier in my opinion. After all, it makes more sense to release a 2-part finale together to maintain this so-called hype. And this is not just a production issue, but also a part of marketing and promoting the series. Yes, making cartoon is complicated, but that's why we love them, right? But let's talk specifically about the episode and what was shown in it. Seeing people running in a church where Uzi is chained and being possessed by an absolute solver, and we know for sure that things are gonna get wild. And it's truly creeping and tense. Credit should be given to the Glitch Studio for their skill in creating scenes that build up techno-horror, which is one of the main reasons to watch the drones. Even though glitches still avoid showing human faces, probably to avoid the imperfections of 3D graphics in depicting ordinary people, which we are used to seeing in hyper-realistic Pixar animations. If we spot any mismatch in the facial expressions of a 3D human face, we would immediately say that the animation is bad. That's why people in the drones are hardly shown in terms of a facial expression, so that online critics won't criticize them for it. And from a livestream perspective, I think it has become a feature of the series. And moreover, why would you need those ugly humans when there are cute and adorable drones? Just look at their faces, oh my god. Or rather, interfaces, haha! And by the way, we discussed many of these moments in my earlier drones videos, which I highly recommend watching. And while scientists continue to try to do something with the possessed Uzi towards the end, you no longer understand whether it was an illusion or not. It truly messes with your head. In short, that situation is lethal for the characters, and maybe Uzi can still be cured with some unknown patch that would help her recover. After that, we have flashback into the core of some drone. Careful! Spoilers! It's Nori, Uzi's mother, with cat ear headphones, listening to pop music of 2007 with remnant posters on the wall. and also with drawings and other attributes of our reality, which honestly captivated me for the moment when the important information in the drones was stored on VHS tapes. In the end, as the core prepares for something, we return to where the previous episode ended. The characters are in panic, V sacrifices herself fighting against raptors, Tessa constantly manipulates, and Uzi is on the verge of losing it. While the heroes try to figure out the situation, secondary characters on the surface have their own separate adventures that will intersect with our main characters toward the end of the episode. Except for Jay, she has returned, but she won't have any major role. But what excites me the most is that when Anne, Uzi, and others split up in these underground mines, it becomes constant creepiness and horror. And starts having visions with a light-hearted montage of people. And then, suddenly, tentacles, walls of flesh, bones, blood flows here and there, blood flows from the drones, everything is blood, bloody blood. It really makes you question whether we are watching a sci-fi with drones or a fantasy with demons and possessed madness. In short, Remnant. Yeah, Remnant is the answer to everything, just like in Five Nights at Freddy's. And nothing is clear until someone makes a theory to explain everything, which is how such shows and games work. Unfortunately. Of course, I'm glad that it motivates viewers to delve into the series, but sometimes the confusion can be frustrating, even though it's a result of a non-standard storytelling. But at some point, we're finally explained what happened to the people in the underground church that led to the core collapse and resulted in the death of people and the surface of the planet. The sources of the solver, which is now Uzi and Doll, helped the solver find a way to return and complete its strange chthonic activities. The true meaning and how people managed to create a damn cyber Skynet Satan is still unknown to me. As for Uzi's mother, she amused me, despite being in the form of this three-legged core with a considerable physical strength. I mean, just look at her. She's somewhat the same Uzi, even using the same phrases. Consider her as an upgraded Uzi. And it all leads us back to the resolution in the underground church. After which Tessa, who was already behaving strangely, came to destroy Uzi, and I was genuinely surprised when Anne without hesitation destroyed her head. I didn't expect such a turn of events, actually. I was already used to the fact that in murder drones, if they kill at all, they would kill background characters, and the main drones, whether workers or disassemblers, are unlikely to die. They will somehow be restored, just like Jay. And here Tessa, just without head, just chop. So the culmination begins in the form of a fight between the remaining of Uzi, her mother Nori, and that damn cyber devil opening black holes. And we finally get to see the continuation of the relationship between Anne and Uzi. Well, it turns out Uzi and Anne shippers won. But that won't stop what will remain canon for me. Anne and V. Oh my god, I love them so much. In general, the way they defeated the solver in Uzi was extremely cute for me. It turned out cute, and according to the standard of such shows, when the hero's emotions overcome the intensity that has entered him, and then these two idiots start yelling at each other in a cute way, and I'm very happy about it. But I was thinking, if they were able to finish this and Uzi is no longer insane, that what will happen in the season finale, as they still have some whole episode left, and most likely it will be an unusual 30 minutes. And here Tessa, being human without a head, cosplays a Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of 2003. A real body horror begins, and I no longer understand what Tessa is. A human? A drone? Who are you? Absolver? I don't know. What is going on here? I mean, it's easier for me to call it a demon because just look at this, look at what's happening. Although the marking on the hands indicates that it's a sin, the same from the ants' memories with which the infection began. Sometimes drones lack explanations, although it's nice that the series allow us to figure out ourselves, but not during such moments of chthonic bloody horror, please. Not like that. Although, knowing Liam Vickers, he has always loved to create cool techno-organic horror with the cute cyber girls in the Destruction Cube. Well, that unreleased series by Liam Vickers, or whatever it's called. And then, finita la commedia! The solver, in the form of Sin, achieves what she wanted and jumps into the hellish hole. Why? I don't know! Uzi sacrifices herself to save Anne, and in the end, we see this. The black hole on the screen. Well, overall it looks good. I love this kind of stuff, as you may have noticed from my ambience. And what would all this lead to? Well, we see this in the next final episode of Murder Drones, which will also be released this spring, as the authors said a long time ago. So, what's the outcome? Drones are increasingly delving into their own techno-organic crypt, sometimes without explaining what is happening in the story, and this pisses me off, which can confuse the viewer, of course, especially if they are trying to understand what is happening in the plot. Was Tessa Sin, or did Sin possess Tessa? What's this happening? What is going on? I don't know, honestly, really. However, this is both a bold plus and a minus for a project because the drones stand out significantly compared to the most web projects precisely because of their ambiguity. Personally, I think this is a Liam Wicker's personal touch, the author of the project. And it's truly enjoyable to see this guy finally revealing himself as an author, as we have already seen many of his early works that unfortunately were not put into production for various reasons. And by the way, would you like us to talk about in more detail about the backstory in the form of Liam works and what led us to the drones? I think it would be a cool video, so let me know in the comments if you are interested. As for the finale, I really hope that they will spend more time explaining this unclear parts of the drone story so that the culmination of the show looks reasonable. However, something tells me that the first season of Murder Drones may not be the last. After all, from a profit perspective, it would be foolish to end the series with such a strong and eager fan base. Before you know it, the story of drones will expand to multiple planets, but then again, would the show lose its author's touch in terms of cryptic and unexplained events in the plot? What do you think? So drones finally confused me to the max, and you know, it turns into FNAF or something, I don't know. Well, it's a show where nothing is clear until you delve into the details yourself, or perhaps it's just a cryptic and ambiguity along with the cute and funny drones that lured you into this show. Who knows? You never know. In the end, it's very enjoyable to follow the twists and turns, and some jokes can be quite funny, although at the beginning of the series, the jokes look terribly cringeworthy, and to be honest, as if they were written by a neural network. Hold up! They're drones, right? So this cringe valley effect in these dialogues was canon? What? So, my verdict is the same as the last time. It's a very interesting show that I enjoy watching and have been following since the early days of the channel. And I'm eagerly anticipating the series finale, which I recommend you to do as well. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one!